But right now, it is my pleasure to welcome Caleb Sexton with DIY Curbs. He's going to tell us about his business and talk more to the judges, and we'll open it up for question. Caleb, it's all yours for the next 10 minutes.
Hello? Okay. All right. How's everybody doing? Good. Okay. Just to kind of be a little bit interactive, can I get a show of hands for everyone that has driven around a neighborhood for like 5 to 10 minutes looking for someone's house and there hasn't been an address label and it was really hard to find? Anyone? Oh yeah, almost everyone. Okay. Yeah. So my business is DIY Curbs. That stands for Directly Impacting Youth. So the purpose of my business is to teach youth employable skills and provide the community with a valuable service. So the people that benefit from my business are future employers of youth, the youth themselves, and the community. I'm going to adjust this just a little bit so I can see. The problem. So there's a few problems that I identified when I started to create this business. The first is that youth lack employment opportunities. In today's job market, it's very tough for youth to find a place to have a job and earn money for themselves. Additionally, people have a hard time finding addresses without a label on the curb, as like you saw by the show of hands. Finally, emergency services, they need to be able to find your address as quickly as possible, and if there's not a label, then it's going to impede the process, and it could, be the difference between, someone living or someone dying or injury or just, wasted time. So basically, the solution to these problems is a business-in-a-box format product that provides a valuable service to the community and also employs youth and provides wealth for them independent of a company. So my product is basically inside is something like this that has something you would lay on the curb with stencils. You lay it down, spray paint it. It's a very easy process, and the person who buys this kit would use this as a tool to make money. They would charge their customers for providing this service. Also inside with the stencil kit would be included instructional DVDs on marketing and how to enter sales into a spreadsheet and just some really basic business skills. So the unique value proposition for my business is that it's structured on a valuable and necessary service. This product provides wealth to youth by teaching them business skills and employing them independent of a company. So I just explained the product a little bit, but here's a little bit more. It includes a stencil kit, the instructional DVDs on customer service, finance, and marketing. Additionally included would be marketing materials such as business cards, banded signs, door hangers, anything that the customer would request to be a little bit, there'd be standard product, but there also would be custom. It would be my goal to connect with an organization that provides these marketing materials so that I could partner with them and include the most valuable and efficient marketing materials for when they enter all their information when they buy this kit. The customer segments. So there's two main customers that I'd be marketing to. The first is the youth seeking employment. So people like me that are just looking for ways to make money, that are interested in business and that are having a tough time finding a job maybe today in today's job market. And also school organizations looking for fundraising opportunities. So that could be sports teams. That could be, I'm in an organization called DECA, and I go on a bunch of trips around the country, and that would be an organization that might use this. Additionally, parent-teacher organizations, really any organization that needs to fundraise for their students. And I would sell these kits to them as a way that they could give their students an opportunity to fundraise. There's a few different channels to do-it-yourselves curbs. The first is an online store that would show all of our products and allow customers to see everything. Also, there would be in-house salespeople that would go to schools, parent-teacher organizations, and sports organizations and would pitch the product and try and sell it there. So there's two different ways that I would be selling my product. the cost structure of my kits, the kit itself would be anywhere from $150 to $200 depending on the marketing materials included. Stencils, I was thinking of selling additional stencils that could have licensed things like sports teams, or different logos that people could buy additionally so that they could have an even more custom feel for their customers. Finally, the marketing materials would vary based on if they were to get 10 banded signs and 1,000 business cards, or if they were to only get the flyers or stuff like that. It would vary depending on what you were to purchase. The unfair advantage that I have is this product helps youth, and it also provides a necessary service to the community. It's something that really is needed because people need to find your house, and additionally the emergency services, that's something that is absolutely necessary, and I have created a product that coincides well with that. Finally, I intend to use stencil kits from recycled materials. You can see here this is made from an old treadmill band, and these cardboard stencils can be made from repurposed cardboard, like a cereal box. Someone could make one of these very easily for a very low cost, and it would also be environmentally friendly using these materials. Sorry. I intend to create a social network page where users of the product can interact, share strategies, receive support and motivation for their endeavor. So on this website, could provide sales incentives for kids to help get them motivated to do this product. So maybe, gift cards on who makes the most sales in their organization. Maybe share ideas saying, hey, I went to the door and got this response. How do you handle that? It would be a way that you could have all the kids interact together and share their ideas of how they approach customers. Finally, I would use all this feedback to help make my product better. So I would look at what people are saying on the social network side and say, hey, well, they're having a tough time, with this DVD, having a hard time understanding it. Maybe I should go back and revisit that. So it would be a way that I could very easily adapt as my business changes. The key metrics, the activities that I'm going to measure are the online store sales. So I would like, to sell enough to break even with the amount of money that I have to invest. And also, the most important thing is my feedback from my users. This will help, help perfect the product and the business system. Like I said, as I'm receiving that feedback, I can make changes as I go. And I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, I just want to say thank you, judges, for hearing my idea today, and thank you, audience, for taking the time to listen to me. So that's all that I have.
And thank you, Caleb. Judges, we have just about 5 minutes for questions, if you want to begin.
First off, Caleb, thank you very much for your presentation. And I was just curious as to what systems you have in place to really ensure that customers are going to buy your product and not just simply replicate it. As you had mentioned, it is very easy to make this sort of thing at home. What do you have in place for that?
Well, I can only tell you what I've learned through doing this business myself. This business, originally when I did it in the tournament, started as a service business. I was the sole proprietor of the business, going around offering this service to customers, and I realized that what I had learned was that people need these business skills, people need this product, and need this service. So what I should do is put it all into one and offer it to someone, so that instead of having to go through the challenges that I faced designing this product, they could have everything everything that had already happened in one kit, so that they could have an easy pathway to owning their own business and learning these skills. Because I realized that it may be, someone may have a good idea for a business, but if they don't have the systems in place to succeed, they're probably not going to go very far with it. But if someone has tested it like I have and has gone through the challenges that I have and put it into a system that is proven to work, then they'll be more apt to succeed with it. So that is something that differentiates me from someone who just went out and did this in the garage and tried to start doing it, and they come to the door and they're like, oh wait, I haven't thought about my sales pitch, or like, oh, how do I keep track of my finances? If everything's already in place, they're going to know that it's tested and they're going to be able to rely upon it. And the more people that see that, the more customers that I'm going to gain. So
Very good. Next question.
I am curious to know what the reasoning was behind the cost structure or the retail price structure that you've established, being $150 to $200. As we mentioned, it might be potentially very easy to replicate. So, how do you plan to combat that, and how do you plan to, or what? Essentially, I want to know exactly what the reasoning was behind the $150 to $200 cost.
Well, what I wanted to do was I didn't want to make this nearly impossible for a teenager, because one of the things that I saw when creating this business was teenagers generally don't like to work like every single day for a set amount of time. They'd rather just work very hard at something for a while, and especially with my generation, I feel like it's a product that's geared towards more of my generational type of thinking. I've realized that they don't want to work every single day for a set amount of time. They'd rather put in a lot of hours for a very short amount of time and gain a lot of money, and then live off of, or not live off of that, but have that financial, be able to have that amount of money for a while and then work again, if that makes sense. So what I realized was that I was charging $20 for this product, so I wanted them to have a semi-low cost investment. If they were going to charge if I was going to charge $200 for this, and they went out there and made 10 sales in like 2 weekends or so, they could make their investment back. So I wanted to make it something that was achievable for a teenager. I wanted to have them make an investment and then be able to work through it, work hard at it, and then be able to pay off their investment and make a profit within a short amount of time without getting discouraged because of a high investment. And the reason that I kept the price so low was because I'm trying to make sure that I'm using recyclable materials that are not going to be a high overhead cost.
Very good. Just a couple of minutes for a very quick answer here. Last question.
All right, so you had mentioned a couple different channels as far as distribution and some salespeople. Do you currently have any salespeople that are going around to these different channels, that are going to these schools, and I think there were a couple other places on there? And if not, what are your plans for that expansion, and kind of give me a little summary of those plans?
Okay, well, my plan for that is I want to use the systems that are already in place for school fundraising, because they do have a lot for like magazine sales or like coupon sales, and I want to use those same models to sell this product. And additionally, I understand, and I've gotten feedback in the past, that this is something that obviously if everyone gets their house painted in the neighborhood, they won't need it for a few more years, so it's not something that the service is really sustainable. So I've also thought about using the same model but with different products, so other ideas for this same model of teaching youth employable skills but with a different service being provided. But I don't have any salespeople right now, but I want to use the same. I would probably try and pitch the product to a company that already does the school organization sales for fundraising. So that was kind of my plan, was to use the systems that are already in place, because this is like an adaptive product, and I'm trying to, continue thinking ahead, because I know that this service isn't as sustainable, so I want to keep thinking of new ideas so that would save me time, so that I could focus more on like the direction for my business.
Caleb, thank you, and congratulations to you. Judges, thank you as well. Can we have all of our youth competitors just stand up for a quick second, and let's give you a round of applause. And we will be announcing the winners and how you did at the very end of the day here. We're going to take a very quick 5-minute break, and this contraption for Wild Fit will be rolling out here in just a minute. So we'll take a quick break. Thank you.